What's up, everybody? Just finished up with practice for tonight. Went pretty good. There was only 3 people showed up. Patrick, Jack, and Jack's girlfriend Riley. She's just starting. She's come maybe 4 or 5 times. She's excited about getting into the sport. Patrick's been arm wrestling for maybe, I want to say 4-ish years, maybe a little bit more. And Jack's probably just over 2 years. And he's only just turned 17. He's got a ton of potential in the sport for sure. A couple different things we did. I worked on right and left hand, worked on some strap work, and still got a really bad pain in my forearm, my left forearm. When I release the pressure off of the match, it shoots like shooting pains, like all the way down my forearm, and it's pretty miserable actually. Got the ice on it right now, healing it, trying to get a little bit better. I'll probably start doing. I've got a double sink in the kitchen here. I fill one up with ice water and I fill the other one up with as hot water as I can stand, and I just kind of alternate 3 minutes in the cold, 3 minutes in the hot, and then while I'm doing the hot with the left arm, I've got the right arm in the cold, so I rotate that into the hot, let the left arm kind of circulate, and then I start it over again. I do that for about 25 minutes or so, 30 minutes-ish, just rotating through every 3 minutes. I really think it helps a lot with my arm. I put Epsom salt in the hot water bath so that it has some time to soak in there. I believe Epsom salts do really good stuff. I can tell the difference when I use them. Speaking of which, babe, we need some more Epsom salt.
I think there's some downstairs.
Okay, perfect. She says we got more downstairs. So I know I used the last the other night when I took an actual bath to soak in the bath. Been having issues with my hip. I've got hip dysplasia, and it's really bad in my left hip. I had a shot last week of cortisone. They put a 3.5-inch needle up in like the actual joint of the hip, and shot that in there. They said it would take 3 days to 2 weeks for it to work. Well, it's been a week and 1 day, and I don't think it's doing much. So I've got an appointment with the doctor after the holidays, around the 1st of January. Hopefully it's better by then. If not, I think the next step is surgery, and I really don't want that to happen. Especially when I've got these matches coming up where I need to be able to train. So I'll do a little bit of rice bucket tonight, and sooner or later I'll do a video of that so you guys can see what I do with the rice bucket stuff as well. But anyway, hey, I'll put the arm wrestling practice on. It's probably going to be about 15 to 20 minutes after I cut it down, the stuff I want on there. I really only did the video of when I was at the table. I don't know if you guys want to see the other stuff or not. I figured that you would want to watch the stuff that I was doing. If not, let me know and I'll film everybody as much as I can on that table. And we've got 2 tables at my place here where we work with. Anyway, yeah, check it out. I'll come back afterward and give some closing thoughts, some inspirational closing thoughts by Cody Spur Merritt. All right, guys, stay tuned. All right, everyone, this is kind of what we do in the practice. This video is going to be a little bit longer than normal. I want to say that it's about 30 minutes-ish long, longer than what I normally would do in a video. But this is Jack Crucy that I'm warming up with here. 17-year-old kid, super good, tons of potential, gonna have a heck of a future in the sport. You can see I get him over to that side over there and I get a little tight spot in my elbow. I want to get some extra blood flow in there, so I have him just hold me there and get a little bit more pressure in there. Get some blood flow going into that elbow, get it loosened up a little bit. Then I have him pull straight into my fingers, work on that bicep, work on just back pressure and containment type of stuff. Just to get the blood flow and feel better in there. But yeah, like I said, Jack's 17 years old. He's been arm wrestling for maybe 2.5, 3 years, somewhere in there. Just got a ton of potential. You can see he's just a monster of a kid for 17. He's, I swear, I'm serious, he has put on like 40 or 50 pounds this year alone. Well, I guess it's a new year now. But in the last year, he's put on quite a bit of muscle weight and just looks a lot better. He's sitting right around the 200 to 205 pound range. He was pulling in the 185, 180 classes, where whatever was the closest to that weight category earlier in the year. I had forgotten. I was taking this elbow pad off because I like it. Practices I like to train with, get my elbow a little bit lower than everybody else, so I can kind of imitate or have the other guy feel like he's got a much longer arm than I, and just kind of work on those different positions with people that are taller and longer than I am, and try to work on those different strengths in that type of situation. Get Jack to kind of work right into my fingers and work on that. My biggest weakness is my knuckles up or fingers high type of containment. I don't have very much strength there, so one of the things I like to work on at practices. Moved over the right arm, going to get a little bit of blood flow in the right arm, get a good little warm up there with that. I don't normally spend a lot of time working that's a lie. I work my right arm as much as I do my left, but I do tend to focus more on my left. Seems how that's really the one that's provided me the most success in the sport. Jack's probably a little bit better with his left hand as well. Matter of fact, he is quite a bit better with his left hand than he is in right. And it was actually opposite of that a year and a half ago. He's just come on left-handed really, really well in the last little bit. To where I don't allow him to enter any amateur classes left-handed anymore. Because his left is become that dominant. He's won 2 or 3 men's classes in the amateur classes at age 16 and 17. So he's moved up to pro or open classes with his left hand, and he's not far behind right-handed. He ends up usually placing right-handed in all the amateur classes, but he hasn't won any of those classes yet. And I usually say after you win 2 or 3 of those and you win them convincingly, then it's time to move up, get out of the amateur classes, and just work on getting better. His first amateur class that he won was in Utah, Utah State Championship. He won that class left-handed, did quite well. Then he went to Kansas City with me in March in a very big, pretty good class, and he came back from the B side and won that whole thing in the amateur class, and did quite well in the open class as well. So yeah, he's still working on getting his right up to that potential, but he's really come along really well left-handed. I want to say he's won the Utah, he's won Kansas City, and he's won the Hawthorne, Nevada one left-handed, I believe. I could be wrong, but that's what I think has happened. So this is Patrick Shoppett. He's been in the sport maybe 4 years, 3.5, 4 years. I'm not exactly 100% sure. He's a little bit smaller guy, weighs about 175, 180 pounds, somewhere in there, give or take a little bit. When he first started arm wrestling, he was more around the 240 to 250 range. Did a lot of bodybuilding. You can see just by his back, he's very muscular. He's just pretty short, and his frame isn't great to be a super heavyweight arm wrestler. So we kind of talked him into kind of going down in weight classes so he could get a better feel for what arms would be more comparative to his. Okay, we wanted to work a little bit in the strap. You can see actually we wrapped that strap around the wrong arm first, and the reason why I do that on occasion is it tends to make it a little bit fairer or more difficult for me to use that strap in a practice, and just gives Patrick a little bit more of a opportunity to apply better pressures. It just kind of makes me have to work harder. I always in practice try to put the buckle on my hand. I want that disadvantage so that I can feel a little bit more confident if I get stuck in that position in an event or a tournament. And I always at practice try to give the people I'm arm wrestling against an advantage, just so I know if I'm working through that advantage, I even have a better chance in the real deal. You can see right there when I release pressure, that really shot pain through my forearm. I've been having that issue for some time. I think I've said I'm trying to figure out how to make that better, but it gets very painful for sure. Patrick's nickname is Redbeard. He normally, well, just until recently, he had probably like a 10-inch beard, red hair growing down there, and just recently shaved it all off. Came to practice with a completely clean-cut, shaven face. It was kind of a different look for sure. But yeah, he goes by Redbeard because of that beard. Short, squatty guy. I think he should be like a Keebler elf or something like that. Again, I'm having that pain shoot through my arm on the release. It's very painful, and I don't understand why I have it. I'm hoping to get that all figured out and better before my match with Motors-Off next month. I've got almost exactly 6 weeks until that event, so hopefully I can get something worked out. I've got an appointment with my massage therapist tomorrow. She's going to try and help a little bit with that as well. I do what's called trigger point massage therapy. It's a deep tissue massage. I actually learned it from watching Dave Chafee in WAL talk about. He does that before every event, and I do that as well. I do it before every event, and then I try to get in a little bit for maintenance work in between events. It really does make a big difference in my performance, I believe. Also, I do a lot of ice treatment, and I do a little bit of rice bucket stuff. Try to do that 2 to 3 times a week. Rice bucket workouts to get my hands some blood flow and some strength in my hands and forearms, mostly for recovery. People ask me all the time what I do to train. Well, this is what I do. I sit in arm wrestling practice once a week and just arm wrestle till it hurts my arms too much, and then I try and rest and recover. I truly believe that, especially at my age, recovery is a big deal, so I try to recover as much as possible. I struggle to pull multiple days in a row. I don't know how some of those people do that. How Devin does it, it's beyond me. I guess I could probably build myself up to it, but I don't want to go through that pain. Kind of a cupcake, I guess. But I do believe in recovery. Rest and recovery is a big part of my prep for events. and I try to take 10 to 14 days off before events. If it's a big event, I'll probably take at least the 14 days. I'll have my practice on a Thursday and then take 14 plus days off till the event on the Saturday. So for my event in February 12th, I'll probably be my last practice will be the last week in January, and then I'll just try and rest and recover from there, get a little bit better. But yeah, I'm anxious for that match with Morozov for sure. He looks really strong, really intimidating. We had a live chat with him and Marcio Barbosa, Ingen Tierzy, and Raymond Lipens, and Travis Bagent was on there as well. New Year's Day morning. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and check it out on Ingen Tierzy's YouTube channel. I want to think it's Ingen Tierzy Enigma of Rage is the name of his YouTube channel. It was a good interview. Had lots of fun. I laughed the entire time. Travis Bagent's a funny person. You can see right there that Patrick, he gets a little dramatic sometimes, and makes it sound like I'm like tearing him right out of his shoes, where I think he's just acting and being a little bit dramatic in those situations. But he does give me good work, helps me train. He understands arm wrestling to the extent of he can feel pressures, understand where pressures are coming from. He's good in different positions. He doesn't just try to do one thing. He does multiple things. He'll get his shoulder in behind him. He has a bit of a King's move he works on. So he's a well-rounded arm wrestler and could be pretty good in the sport. Here's a little bit of magic for you. Patrick and I just taking a little stroll in the shop, hand in hand. What had happened is we had stopped, took a break, and I had pushed pause on the camera and forgot to start it back up when we got started again, so we walked over there and turned it on while we still had the strap on. So normally when I'm practicing, I try to help the people I'm working with better their positions, but when I'm focused on an event and trying to get better myself, then I try to really focus on a few things, and I'm a little bit selfish in practice in that regard. Otherwise, I let my guys work into their good positions, finish matches, finish and pin me, work through my hand and fingers, just give them what they need to win the match is what I try to do on a normal basis.
You pull me over and it's you literally take me off the ground. I'll lock in, but I can't brace myself against you without feeling it like trying to rip open. right into a wall. Fuck.
I tried to be a little bit. Sorry, man.
Oh, you're gonna give some shit. Woo.
You okay?
Yeah, I hit a wall about here. You just had that stuff.
Oh, okay. I'll try to be a little bit softer.
Well, okay, I did the motion, but it was whatever you did took me out for a second. I had
Nice thing about having Patrick around, like I was saying earlier, is he does arm wrestle in a lot of different positions. He's got a good understanding of different techniques, and he allows me to work through some of those techniques. Like, he's pretty good in a shoulder press. I like him to get up on top of that shoulder and work and let me hold him there, and then I try to come back through him as best I can without hurting him. So it just he really helps me in a lot of different positions. Excuse me. Again, get Jack back up there. A little bit fresher, new feel on the arm. He's a little bit taller with that longer arm. Helps a lot in getting me in a better position. We were watching videos of Armwrestling the other day at practice, and we decided that Jack looks like a young Autumn with the kind of the flat top haircut. Just looks like they could be related or brothers, the two of them. We'll have to see if Jack gets to be as good as Autumn is. If Jack puts on that much size, that'd be interesting to see. But they do look like they could be related for sure. Jack's got a really good kind of a pronating type top roll into my fingers. That it helps work that a little bit, and I want him to work on hits so I can catch him. Gives me a little bit of a chance to work on that type of stuff. I'm having that pain in my arm again. That release is ridiculous. I feel fine when I'm going. It's just when we have a change in pressures. Just that's what's super painful. Even like in the middle of the table, if I'm applying pressure and Jack lets off and I kind of let off at the same time, it hurts really badly. So he kind of, when we stop, he keeps a little bit of pressure there to help, so we can kind of come off slowly, but it really doesn't help much. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. It ticks me off. I have to do different things to combat that so it doesn't hurt so bad. Certain positions doesn't hurt as bad. If I'm working on containing in that lower hand area right there, kind of dad's moving him, I don't feel the pressure as much as when I try to cup and then try to, I want to say pronate over, but it's kind of hard to explain. It's kind of hard when it happens when I'm trying to use that supination controlling move while I'm pronating, if that makes sense. It's kind of weird, I know, but I do get a lot of that pain. See right there, even when he just adjusted that pressure, it shot through my forearm there. This is Jack's girlfriend, Riley. She's relatively new to the sport. She's been to practice, I want to say 4 times. Kind of fun to have a new girl in practice. I wish more females in America, in North America, would arm wrestle. It always seems like they the majority of females here in North America are timid about showing off their strength. It's almost like they feel like ladies should not be strong. And I disagree with that. I think women should relish in their strength and be proud of their strength and make it stronger and get up and express strength. And if you love arm wrestling, get in and arm wrestle. Who cares about all the other crap that goes on in life? Just do what you love to do and don't worry about what other people think. Anyway, Riley, I think she's just a little bit older than Jack. They're both 17, but I believe she's a few months older than he is. But she's grew up on a farm. She's kind of a farm girl. Got that country strong aspect to her. And she's kind of a natural top roller. She does a really good job at that. And she also kind of provides her own way, has her own little business breeding German short hair and wire hair dogs. She has both breeds that she does, and she actually has some puppies right now that she needs to get rid of. So if any of you guys are interested in short hair or wire hair puppies, please let me know, because I'm sure Riley would be interested in getting rid of some of them. They are papered dogs, and I think she has both breeds right now. They are getting a little bit older. I think they're around the 10 to 12 week old. But she's, because of the COVID, she hasn't been able to sell them, and she is willing to let them go for a really good price right now. So if you've been looking for a new bird dog of sorts, wire hairs are super cool dogs. I think they're really good looking, a little scruffy, and I like that. And then short hair, German short hairs are a great dog as well. I grew up around those. My brother-in-law's had them over the years, and matter of fact, he and his boy both have German short hair dogs right now. They're great dogs to have around for sure, and very active and fun. Especially if you like hunting, they're really, really good at hunting. Good bird dogs. I was getting a little upset with Riley because she was being timid and not showing her strength. So we were talking about like being explosive and being dangerous and hitting hard and like being serious about it. So I was trying to get her amped up and trying to do some good hard starts and hits, just to be aggressive and show a little bit of aggression here. Almost like she's mad, but she wasn't really doing it. She did a couple good ones, but she wouldn't hit as hard as I thought she could. Trying to explain to her how to do that really well and really focus on being explosive and not being ashamed or embarrassed about doing it. There was a good one. Yeah, that was a pretty good start. I just need to get her to do that all the time. But she gets very timid. She starts laughing and is a little bit embarrassed about it. So hopefully we can work on that and get that out of her system. But I think she keeps it up. She's going to be pretty good at this stuff. She's already got a lot of natural strength to her. That's better. Ooh, I can see it in your face. I want more anger, little.
No.
You want to punch me, beat me up, hurt me. Keep going right there. Keep going. That's really good. You getting tired? One more. One more good one. A good hard explosion. Hey, get us ready to go. All right. Ready, go. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Good job. Left hand. Oh, yeah. That's important.
Can I call you back in a minute? What? Okay, hold on. I was gonna like talking like right here. Just come pull out my ear trouble. Holy cow. Okay.
No. Better hit. Explosive. That's better. That's better. Get up on my fingers now. Yep, there you go. Yep, there you go. Good job. So when you get down like that, you start to twist out. I want you to rotate your wrist around, clear out there, and then go again. I mean, if you can swallow my fingers out here, you're gonna own me. Okay? That's pretty good. There you go. One more. There you go. Good job. Wanted to work a little bit on Riley's left hand, different techniques and different moves, and making sure her body is lined up where she needed it to be the most efficient and strongest she can be while at the table. She does a lot of hook arm wrestling in a hook position. A lot of top roll arm wrestling in the top roll position, and I wanted to kind of feel her strength inside and work on the hook. She still tends to use that pronation and try to pull out. I was trying to get her to feel that like wrist to wrist in deep knifing pressure, and it was tough for her to get to that position, and it is for some people to be able to change from one to the other. It takes a little bit of time and a little bit of understanding how those different pressures and angles and levers work exactly. But I think she's got a lot of potential, for sure. Jack, I want one match with the band. Just to end the practice session, I wanted to get one match in the straps with the band and Riley helping us with that band. Like I do before, I always put that buckle on my hand with the strap so that I have a little bit of a disadvantage there. It gives Jack an advantage. And then I always try to wrap that rubber band through my hand instead of around my arm. He's seen some people pull with a rubber strap advantage, and they put that rubber band down around their arm so that it's just putting pressure against their arm. Well, I don't want it on my arm. I want it in my hand so that it actually is attacking my hand and wrist as well as the arm and compromising my hand. So we put that strap on there, and it makes it a little bit hard, that band on there, it makes it a little bit hard to get a good grip with the strap and the band in there, but it does intimidate, or actually put a lot of more pressure in that type of situation. You notice I had her angle herself further so it attacks my hand more, and then grab higher on that rubber band so that the pressure is more stiff. It just puts a lot more pressure in my hand. And then I have her hit back or pull back on that when we get going. And then here on that release, you can see I have a ton of pain in my arm on that release. And it's just frustrating how bad that hurts. But we're working on it. We're trying to get it better, get it healed up, and be ready in 6 weeks for Artem, Mr. Morozov. Well, that's pretty much what we do for practices, guys. Again, if there's anything you want to see, please let me know. Add a comment. Let me know what to add to this. But thanks again. Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm going to plan on it. Well, fellas and ladies and whoever is watching this, I appreciate you taking a look at the video. So that's kind of how a practice goes. For me, it's basically what I do for training. Not much different. That's really what it is. The only thing that's different is on occasion I have a bunch more people than just 3 others and myself. So so I get some more hands to hold on to and get a little bit more work. Anyway, if you have any questions about it, please hit me up if you wouldn't mind. Like and subscribe. I'm just over 600 subscribers, and I'd like to get to 1,000 so I can do lives and kind of chat with you guys more in that regard. So yeah, share it and get your buddies and your grandmas and whoever to subscribe to the channel. Also, set some comments in there. Let me know what you think about how things are and what if you'd like to see anything else and whatnot. Anyway, thanks again. Appreciate you all for following and supporting. It's awesome. And always look at life's opportunities like I look at a meal. Just don't miss out on them. Thanks, guys.